On the question of the statement that you referred to made by a Bangladeshi senior leader, we have taken this up with the Bangladeshi government. We have actually strongly registered a protest on this issue. We understand that the post that you referred has been taken down. We would like to remind all concerned to be mindful of their public comments. While India has repeatedly signaled interest in fostering relations with the people and the interim government of Bangladesh, such comments underline the need for responsibility in public articulation. And once again to repeat that we have strongly protested against this with the Bangladesh government. मधु, आपका सवाल दो देशों का है, चीन और भूटान का को लेके सवाल है. तो ये सवाल चूंकि उन दो देशों का है तो आपका सवाल उनको आप करें तो ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा. Angsha?
So we have seen the frustration and excitement both from Indian as well as Chinese enterprises on business front. And since 2020, the Galwan incident, this is completely freeze. So how do you react to this situation and those sort of frustration and excitement among the entrepreneurs and business places spread across India and China? Thank you.
Ajay?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Ajay Banerjee with the Tribune. Sir, I bring you to the SR level talks again, sir.
Okay.
2 points mentioned in the Chinese statement, 2 specific points. One, they spoke about putting the border issue in an appropriate position in the bilateral relations. And second point, they mentioned both sides agree to further refine the management rules for the border areas. So my question is, where does India place the border issue? What is India's appropriate position? And 2, are we refining the management rules? Is a new border agreement on the cards?
Okay. Jugal?
Hi, sir. This is Jugal from the BBC. So I've got 2 questions. First is on the SR level talks. Can you clarify what is to happen or what is India's stand insofar as the friction points are concerned? And the second question is, there is this one name that keeps cropping up very repeatedly in the political discourse. The name is George Soros. Now, I want to understand, assuming he's not an Indian national, is there a case that we as a government have lodged and are pursuing with any foreign entity about this individual? Thank you.
Okay. Hello?
Sir, Kalur from the Hindu newspaper. Sir, the chief advisor of the Bangladesh government, Professor Muhammad Yunus, has said that the election in the country would be held either next year or early 2026. But responding to him, the main opposition party of Bangladesh, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, has said that by not announcing a clear date for election, the chief advisor has actually disappointed the political class, including BNP. So what is really India's position as far as that speech is concerned? Because he has not given a clear-cut date for holding an election in Bangladesh.
Okay.
सर बांग्लादेश.
Manish?
सर मैं मनीष झा हूँ TV9 भारतवर्ष से. कल हम लोगों ने देखा कि किस तरह इजिप्ट में मोहम्मद यूनुस और शहबाज शरीफ गले मिले. लग रहा था कि कुंभ के बिछड़े भाई हैं. तो उसके बाद ये तय हुआ कि बांग्लादेश अब सार्क समिट भी आयोजित करेगा और उसको लेकर मोहम्मद यूनुस ने काफ़ी पॉजिटिव अपना रिएक्शन दिया है. तो इंडिया का क्या कहना है अगर बांग्लादेश सार्क समिट को आयोजित करता है?
Okay. SR talks.
Just want a little clarity actually on the 6-point that China has actually claimed and it was agreed. I mean, is there any divergences between the two sides on the 6 points? We agree to certain points and not agree to certain portion of the Chinese statement. Can you just give some clarity about whether there is an agreement on the 6 points or not?
Okay. So let me come to these questions first. Ayangsha, regarding business relations, we have since October issued several press releases giving you a readout of all the meetings that have happened, including at the highest level, where it has been agreed that we'll take step action. SR level talks have happened. Earlier in Kazan, the Prime Minister and President of China, they met, and now we'll take it forward with other meetings, and thereafter we'll see how things shape on these matters. Second question came from Ajay. See, what happened in the SR level talks, we have clearly defined in our press release. So I would request you that please refer to our press release, and I can only speak for my press release, our press release. If you have any question with the other press release, you should take that question to the relevant party. So that is, Ajay, where I'll stop. Similarly, Jugal, your question again, and I will request you to please, I would urge you to read the press releases in detail. You will get your answers there. And I am responsible for what we have put out in our press release. If you have any questions regarding that, I'm here to clarify. And I would like to again, read out excerpts from our paragraph, from our press release, where we have given all the details of the issues discussed. The two sides have reaffirmed their commitment to explore a fair, reasonable and mutually acceptable framework for the settlement of the boundary question in accordance with the political parameters and guiding principles. And apart from discussing the framework for settlement of the boundary question, the SRs reviewed issues of peaceful border management comprehensively with this round. And for more details, I would again urge your attention towards a press release. On the question of the other question that you had on the friction points, External Affairs Minister made a detailed statement in the Parliament. This particular statement is self-explanatory, so I would urge you to have a look at that. On the other question about particular individual that you raised, I don't have any idea. I mean, he's been in the news. There are several discussion points around him about his activities, etc. But it doesn't. We haven't come across any such issue where we need to. We have. I don't have any update on it. I mean, we've seen him being discussed in the media. Kalol, on Bangladesh, Foreign Secretary visited Bangladesh, where we had a range of talks, including the Foreign Secretary level consultations, Foreign Office consultations, and we have very clearly defined our approach towards our ties with Bangladesh. We have said that we support a democratic, stable, peaceful, progressive and inclusive Bangladesh. We have reiterated our willingness to build a positive and constructive relationship with Bangladesh based on mutual trust, respect, and mutual sensitivity to each other's concerns and interests. We've also emphasized that the people of Bangladesh are the main stakeholders in India-Bangladesh relations, and noted that India's development priorities, and multifaceted engagements with Bangladesh, including in the areas of connectivity, trade, power, energy, and capacity building and such activities, are all geared towards meeting the aspiration of benefiting the people of Bangladesh. So that is how our approach, that is our approach to Bangladesh and our ties with Bangladesh, and as a democracy also. मनीष, आपका सवाल मिस्र में हुए वार्ता को लेके है, तो आपको ज्ञात है कि जहाँ तक रीजनल कनेक्टिविटी की बात है, हम लोग का भरपूर कोशिश रहता है कि रीजनल कोऑपरेशन को हम लोग मजबूत करें, और रीजनल कोऑपरेशन को मजबूत करने के लिए कई एक सारे जो हम लोगों ने प्रोग्राम्स या जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं उसके तहत हम लोग आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं. बिम्स्टेक एक कनेक्टिविटी प्रोग्राम है, एक कनेक्टिविटी प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसमें कई एक देश हमारे पड़ोस के जुड़े हुए हैं. सार्क भी एक प्लेटफॉर्म है, कई एक सालों से सार्क ठंडा पड़ा हुआ है और किस कारण से ठंडा पड़ा हुआ है इससे आप भली भांति अवगत हैं. Manas, again your questions, I would again refer you. See, if you have any doubts about a particular press release, you must take your questions to that particular party. They will be in a better position to answer. As far as we are concerned, we have clarified our points about the SR talks and we stand by those discussions. Can we take more questions? Neeraj?
सर, नीरज न्यूज 18 इंडिया से 2 दिन पहले एक आतंकी मॉड्यूल का खुलासा किया है असम की एसटीएफ ने. 7-8 लोगों को गिरफ्तार भी किया जिनका रिश्ता बांग्लादेश से है और वो स्लीपर सेल पूरे देश में फैलाना चाहते थे. इस तरह की जो गतिविधियां हो रही है इनको लेकर डिप्लोमेटिक चैनल के जरिए बांग्लादेश सरकार से कोई बातचीत की जा रही है?
Keshav?
So this is Keshav Padmanabhan from the print, and going back to the SR talks, but from our press release, where you said positive directions towards resumption of border trade, the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. Can you give us a sense of what do you mean by positive directions? Can you clarify whether this is going to resume soon? Can you provide that clarification from our press release?
Jessica?
So this is Jessica Taneja from DD India. Any update on the 16 Indian workers who are trapped in the Libya cement company? They say their passports and their phones are not with them and their entire situation.
Derek?
Good evening, sir. So, I have 2 questions. One is on the SR level talks. Our press release mentions that there were discussions on bilateral, regional, and global issues of mutual interest. And the Chinese MFA also mentioned about issues of global south featuring. So was UNSC reforms also discussed? And because China is the only P5 country that hasn't openly come out in support of India's permanent residency. And the second question is on Myanmar, sir.
Third question. Oh, second question.
Second question, sir. The Arakan army, it has, there are reports that Arakan army has made some advances and fighting has intensified. And we also saw that the foreign secretary was in Thailand recently. So, could we get a reaction, on the fighting, and was Myanmar's situation discussed in that visit as well? Thank you.
Okay. Sorry? Okay. Reza?
Reza from Hindustan Times. Just a quick, related to what Keshav asked, when you talk about positive direction on cross-border cooperation, does that mean, the two sides are now going to kind of finalize the modalities, or is this now going to go ahead? I mean, following the SR talks. And number 2, Myanmar, the reports are that the Arakan army has actually captured a major headquarter today in Rakhine State. Except for Sittwe and another town, everything else is now under the Arakan army. How are we looking at this situation?
Okay, so SR and Arakan. So first, Neeraj, आपके सवाल का देखिए, सुरक्षा को लेके जो भी मसला होता है वो उस मसले पर हम लोग उस मसले को बहुत ध्यान से और पूरे चुस्ती के साथ उससे हम लोग निपटते हैं. जहाँ तक आपने आतंकी घटनाओं की बात की, सुरक्षा की बात की, इस पे जो हमारे एजेंसीज़ हैं, जो अथॉरिटीज़ हैं, उस पे वो अपनी गतिविधियां कर रहे हैं. जहाँ तक सुरक्षा की बात है, और भी अन्य बांग्लादेश के साथ हमारे बहुआयामी संबंध है. बहुत सारे मुद्दे इस पे बात किया जाता है और बहुत सारी चीज़ों हमारे दोनों देशों के बीच में बहुत सारी मसले, बहुत सारे इश्यूज़ हैं जिस पे हम लोग बातचीत करते हैं. और हाल ही में जब विदेश सचिव की भी यात्रा हुई, उस दरमियान भी हम लोगों ने फॉरेन ऑफिस कंसल्टेशन में ये बहुआयामी जो रिश्ता है हम लोग का, उसके हर मुद्दे पर हमारी चर्चा हुई. Keshav, now on positive directions, as you would understand, is self-explanatory. It means that the discussions have gone into the positive direction, and thereafter whatever else is required will be done to take these cross-border exchanges forward. Jessica, on the update about those Indian workers, these Indian workers, they had reached Benghazi via Dubai. They had gone there but did not have proper documents. When they landed there were some issues regarding their work. When we came to know of these difficulties, we already, as you know, we have now our embassy in Tripoli is active. We reached out to the workers, we reached out through our the community members there, and we have given them a helping hand. We have arranged for their food, for their daily living articles. Our CDA in Tripoli has also met these workers. This happened on, I think, on 4th of November. Since these people had gone to Libya without proper documentation, so to exit the country now, they need an exit permit as per the guidelines of Libya. The embassy is in touch with Libyan authorities to arrange for their exit permit. The exit permit is taking little time because they had gone there without proper documentation. But once this exit permit is done, all these people who have having difficulties, our embassy will facilitate the return home. As of now, our embassy is in touch with them, their employers, and taking care of them, and we are closely following the situation and the development. The area, to your question, SR level talks is about the border. So obviously, the other issues are there may be some reference to it, obliquely, etc. But principally, the SR level talks are focused on the boundary question. You also talked about Myanmar. What was the question? Can you repeat on Myanmar? Sorry?
Arakan army has been making advances, the fighting has intensified. So, would it be possible to get a reaction? We also saw that,
So, yes, we are following developments in Myanmar very closely. We understand that the fighting has intensified, and we are following the evolving situation very closely. You would also understand that sometime back, because of the security situation, we had relocated our people serving in our consulate in Sitwe to Yangon. But even though the relocation has happened, our consulate in Sitwe continues to be functional. We also have several development cooperation projects there, which continue to go forward. And I must also emphasize that these projects are all grant-based projects from India, and they are intended to serve the interest of the people of Myanmar. And this is an aspect which I guess people who are there will keep these in mind as the situation evolves. Also on your question regarding the talks that happened in Thailand, yes, a foreign secretary participated in those talks in Thailand. The talks were on the land boundary neighbors of Myanmar. That these talks happened on 19th of December. Where we explained our position. You are aware of our position on Myanmar. We have called for cessation of all violence. We've called for peace and stability and resolution of the ethnic issue through the establishment of a genuine federal democracy. We also believe that this process of return of stability should be Myanmar-led and Myanmar-owned, and should take into account the views of all stakeholders to ensure that peace and stability return to Myanmar early. Also, I would like to add the land boundary neighbors of Myanmar also have a particular set of concerns. Reza, your questions were similar to both. Vishal?
Sir, मैं
विशाल पांडे हूँ एबीपी न्यूज से। नेपाल में क्रिप्टो केस में 2 भारतीयों को गिरफ्तार किया गया है। 6 महीने से ज्यादा का समय हो गया है और दोनों को जमानत नहीं मिल पाई है। दोनों पर आरोप है कि उनके मोबाइल फोन में क्रिप्टो ऐप था जो कि नेपाल में गैर कानूनी है। भारत सरकार कैसे इस मामले को देखती है, कैसे उनकी मदद कर सकती है?
Okay.
Sir, I'm Arunesh from MEA. I have 2 questions.
Where?
Sir.
Arunesh, बताइए.
So the first question is the Kremlin has already confirmed that President Putin will be traveling to India. The dates are being worked out. Some reports have said that it might be early next year. So is there a chance that he might be the chief guest at the Republic Day parade? And the second question is Bharatiya Janata Party, ruling Bharatiya Janata Party recently leveled allegations that US State Department meddles in India's internal matters and the deep state there and tries to spread anti-India agenda. So what is MEA's stand on it, and is it India's official stand?
Altaf.
Thank you, Mr. Jaiswal. I know this question was asked before. I just want to ask again if there's an update. And this question is from millions of Afghans living in Afghanistan. So their question is, when will India normalize consular services in Afghanistan? Because they have been waiting for 3 years to get visa and come to India. When will this finally happen? And they want to get a clear response on this. And my second question is, is India in talks with anyone in Afghanistan, like the defense minister of the Taliban, to normalize diplomatic ties or on other issues? We have heard that defense minister is regularly contacting or in talks with the Indian government to normalize the ties. Thank you.
Uma.
So I'm Huma Siddiqui from the Financial Express. 2 questions. So who is the chief guest for the PBD program in Odisha next year? And my second question is, Bangladesh is looking for rice from India. So have they contacted the government? Is government ready to send it to them?
Okay. विशाल, पहला सवाल आपका क्रिप्टो लेके नेपाल में। देखिए, नेपाल में हमारे भारतीय लोग रहें या दुनिया के किसी कोने में रहे, भारतीय लोग बाहर में, उनकी सुरक्षा उनकी जिम्मेवारी हमारी जिम्मेवारी है। और इस मामले में भी अगर वो भारत के नागरिक हैं और उन पे वहाँ पर कोई मुकदमा या कुछ इस प्रकार का चल रहा है, इस मसले पे मुझे व्यक्तिगत इस मसले पे मेरे पास अपडेट नहीं है, लेकिन मैं आपको ये आश्वासन दे सकता हूँ कि जब भी कोई इस प्रकार का मसला होता है, हमारी एम्बेसी हो, हाई कमीशन हो, जो मिशन है वो चुस्ती के साथ वहाँ के सरकार के साथ मिलकर हमारे हितों को सुरक्षित करने का, हमारे हितों पर काम करते हैं और करते रहेंगे। Arunesh, this question I have answered earlier also. We have a mechanism of annual summit with Russia. The last annual summit, as you know, happened in Moscow, where our Prime Minister traveled for the annual summit. The next one will happen in India, for which dates will be decided between both countries, India and Russia, as per their mutual convenience. So once those dates are decided, etc., we'll let you know as to when the visit will happen for the annual summit. The other question also that you asked in the last presser, I had made our position known on this particular issue. But if you want, I can repeat it. Last time also we had reacted to that, and I had said that we have seen reports about foreign interference in India, including in the international media. You are also aware that this was discussed in both houses of parliament, so that is the point. Altaf, our Joint Secretary JP Singh, who looks after Afghanistan in the Ministry of External Affairs, he has been traveling. He has traveled to Afghanistan, Kabul, on few occasions, and whenever those travels and those visits happen, we have been giving you an update as to the kind of interaction that we've had. Yes, he met with interim ministers last time when he visited. So those details are already available in the public domain on our website. I would urge you to have a look. We continue to focus on strengthening our ties with the people of Afghanistan. And on visa matters also, we have regular dialogue, and hopefully we'll take these things forward as well. Uma, on the chief guest for Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Yes, the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, the dates you know, they are from 8, 9, they are on 8th, 9th and 10th in Bhubaneswar. So we should be hopefully announcing the chief guest for the Pravasi Bharatiya soon, for your benefit. What I can tell you is that, as it happens each time, the chief guest for the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas is someone from the diaspora community from at an appropriate level, where he and she, at the highest level, he or she participates as the chief guest. On Bangladesh rice, I don't have an update on this, but what I understand is that traffic or trade between Bangladesh and India continues to function, and articles of trade are plying between both countries. There may be issues here and there, but by and large trade is happening. On this particular issue of rice request, I don't have an update on this particular matter, but I can get back to you on this. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's come to the closure of this press engagement. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you. Merry Christmas. And if I don't get to see you before that, then Happy New Year as well.